Hi everyone, I'm back. So today I'm doing my very first Throwback Thursday. I'm pulling out products that I haven't used in a very long time, whether it's just that I got tired of using the product or I can't remember why I stopped using the product in the first place. I am trying today my very first eyeshadow palette that I purchased, my very first high-end eyeshadow palette that I purchased, which I loved for a very long time and has so moved on from that palette. It just sits in my collection and I wanted to know, listen, is it worth it to keep around or should I find it a new home? Anyway, I hope that you enjoy the video. Let's get right into it. All that I've done so far is that I have put my primer on, I've put my foundation on, I've done my brows, some concealer under my eyes, and a little bit of setting powder. My skin's been acting kind of weird recently, so I don't know what's going on. It hasn't broken out in forever, now it's breaking out again, of course. So I didn't want to really change that routine up. So it's the exact same thing that I did in my previous Get Ready With Me. From this point forward though, I'm going to do everything that's Throwback Thursday. Urban Decay Naked Palette number 1. This palette is tried and true. It's an old standby. I've had it for many, many years and I haven't used it in a long time. So we're gonna go start with that. It was my very first palette that I bought. I was all excited when I got it. And we're gonna start doing a look with that. I did scooch it in closer so that you can see more of exactly what I'm doing. I am wearing, as I've said before, my son's in the Air Force, and for Christmas this year, he just literally had me in tears when I opened this. He had made for me, I'm gonna stand up so you can see it, out of his camo shirt, his name and his rank at this point in the Air Force. He had this made, and it's an apron for me, and he said, you can use it when you're cooking. And I said, oh no, I will use it when I'm doing makeup. So you get used to seeing it because you're going to see it in a lot of videos. It really meant the world to me, and it's made out of his actual shirt. Anybody that's in a military family understands that you sacrifice a lot when your family's in the military. I can't see him when I want to see him. I can't talk to him when I want to see him. He's away. He lives across the country from me, so it really is kind of sad. But I have him with me all the time when I'm wearing his shirt. That's a mom moment. But let's get right into doing the video. I'm going to start with transition, just a transition shade in... and I won't remember the name of these because I haven't used it in so long, in Naked, right there. So I'm just going to be buffing that all, and I'm using you guys as my mirror, but that's not going to work. So we're going to go looking here. So I'm just going to buff this right into my crease. So not into my crease, just like above my crease, because my true crease is all the way down here. I want to go above it. So I want this color to be the shadow that you're going to see transition right into my brow. So this color will blend into this, and then I'll put something darker in the crease so that it brings out the crease more. Okay, so I got my Naked, and I'm just buffing circular motions, round, round, round. And this isn't a color you're going to see. It shouldn't be that much darker than your own skin, but it's something that will give color in the end once you've gotten a darker color in the crease. We're going to see how this Naked palette works because I haven't used it in so long. I use palettes and I get hooked on a palette and I use it for a while and then something new comes out and I see, I need something new. And then I try something new, and then this gets pushed farther and farther to the back. So my goal with doing these Throwback Thursdays is that I'm going to pull out palettes or whatever product that I have, and I'm going to try them out. And I'm going to give them a good shot, and we'll make a decision afterwards. Is it a palette I'm going to keep or find a new home for or get rid of if it's really old? Okay, so that's it. That's blended pretty nicely out. I'm going to go into Buck next. Buck is this brown color right here. And I'm going to blend that into my crease. I'm going to use a smudge. So the first brush that I was using was a really fluffy brush to just kind of blend, 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 blend. Now I'm going to use something more tapered. It's going to taper into my eye socket so that I can just get it right there in the crease. So right here, and blend, blend, blend. And this is the boring part, and this is when I start rambling about things, and then I have to edit it all out. Because you just want to keep blending, 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 blending. Here, and I go back and forth between each eye. I never stay on one eye or the other, just because I want to make sure that they look even. So I'll start on one, do a little bit on that one. I don't know how people can do all one eye, because then I don't know how you keep it even. Okay, just keep loading my brush back in. And the most amount of product is going to be deposited right here on the outer corner, and then blend it in. Hard part with me with this palette, which I'm noticing right now. So if I wanted to go a little bit darker right out here, right? My only options that I have left are all shimmer shades. Dark Horse, all of them are all shimmer shades. That's kind of probably why I stopped using it, because I don't want to put a ton of highlight right here. I mean, that's not what I want to do. To put on my lid shade, I'm going to go in with something much flatter. It's really flat and it'll pack on a punch. Let's see. Do I want to do Sidecar, Half Baked, Smoked, or Toasted? So these are my options of shimmery shades. I think I'm leaning towards this one. This is Sidecar or Smog or Toasted. Now if I want to get a little pink, I can go into that, and then I have a whole plum plan that I could do lips wise and blush wise, or I could go into this and go either way. I'm going to try Sidecar, I think. So it's a nice glittery shadow. I'm going to really pack my brush with some color, and I'm just going to pop it right on here. Getting ready to go out with my daughter today. I figured I'll do this get ready and hopefully come home and tonight get some editing done. I'm going to try and do all my videos for the week this weekend, because it'll make it so much easier for the week ahead. Then I don't have to come home after working all day long and edit videos. That's time consuming, and then I spend no time with my family. So I'm just going to pack that all over the lid, right up into the, right into the base of the crease. I'm just taking my my brush, going right here and just sliding back and forth. And you want to be careful when you're doing like a glitter shadow or a shimmer shadow, because if you start manipulating too much, and if it's not a shadow that's just grabbing onto the eye, you'll start getting glitter all underneath your eye. And you don't want this part of your eye to be reflecting light, because then it looks weird. It looks like you got shadow all over the place and you didn't clean it up. Okay, so to me, this is kind of like, I need to kick it up a notch. So I'm going to grab is my Fix Plus, and I'm going to wet my brush. I'm actually going to go in, get some more of the Sidecar color, fill my brush, and then I'm going to take Fix Plus, and that's going to be wet. It's going to intensify any shimmer shade that you want to intensify. You can do that with Fix Plus. I'm going to get a little bit more. And then I can show you in the viewfinder the difference between the two. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. Fix Plus, not Fix Plus. This is definitely, at least in my mirror and everything, much more intense. So I'm going to do the other eye. And there you go. I'm going to try taking a little bit of Dark Horse. Dark Horse is a shimmer, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and make that work just to darken up the outer V of my eye, to draw the attention out. And I'm using a very tapered brush so that I can get right in that outer corner. Like this, just plopping the color right here, and then I'm going to blend up. A little bit more. Now that got a little dark. So now I am gonna blend, blend, blend. Okay, now I'm gonna go under my eye. I'm gonna take a very small little brush. Sorry, I keep bumping this light that's right here. I'm gonna take this small little brush and I'm gonna take Buck, which is the second color that we put on, this brown color. And I'm going to blend it out under my eye. Now this is a look that I tend to do purples, oranges, or reds lately. I haven't done a brown look, just all brown like this, in a long time. And this is what I used to do all the time. Go on to my bronzer. That's what I would normally do next. I never finish everything on my eyes until I finish the rest of everything, and then I come back in and touch up, enhance, or darken anything I need to. So I have two bronzers that I grabbed out. My first bronzer was that I bought that was high-end, was Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. And as you can see, very loved warm bronzer. That was one of my first bronzers. I also bought the Chanel Sol de Chanel. I've had this for a long time too. That was specific, and I barely use this. This was specifically bought because of a YouTuber that I follow all the time. So, trying to decide. I haven't used this in a while. I think I'm going to try this. It's the Universal Bronzer. And I'm going to use a dense brush for this, and if it doesn't come out, I think the reason that I don't use this very often is that I really have to work it for it to work. So you need a really dense brush, and then I'm just going to follow underneath the contour of my cheek. Once I realized that, see how orange I feel that looks? Once I realized that I needed a denser brush, I don't know how people get this to apply to their face without a dense brush. And we're going to ignore the fact that I have a little bit of my hair color on me. When you have red hair and you get your hair colored, you will notice you'll get some on your skin. But that's the exact areas that I really need to color because that's where all my gray hairs show. Okay. So we'll just pretend that's not there. And I'm just buffing and blending. And the one nice thing about this bronzer is that it does blend into the skin. So you can't screw it up. I mean, if you start putting on too much, you can blend it out easily. There are some that I have that you can't do that with. Okay, so now I'm trying to decide. Does that look too warm? Is that okay? Maybe we'll go in with a little bit of the Too Faced just to give it a little more oomph. And again, these are my tried and trues that I've had for many years, but just got pushed to the back because I got for the bronzer, I got the Marc Jacobs limited edition bronzer, which I love. So that's why I love that bronzer a lot. And then new things come out and I try the new things and then I forget about the old things. I didn't do any of the Chanel bronzer right along my nose, so I'm going to use my Too Faced and do that. There are some bronzers that I really have to be careful with because you start to look too orange. Go right under my lip. Tip of my nose. No, I'm seeing color better. So the reason that I stopped using the Chanel bronzer is that I find that I either have to contour with the darker like gray color or I end up having to do exactly what I'm doing right now. And so this brings me back to why I don't use that often. Moving on, we're going to either do the two of my oldest blushes that I haven't used in a very long time. My absolute first high-end blush was Plum Foolery from MAC. It's a beautiful plum color. I'll swatch it for you guys because I don't know which one I'm going to wear. So I don't want to go with the wrong color based on what you want to kind of tie everything in with your eye look. Okay, so that's Plum Foolery. Or, no, I don't want to wipe anything on my shirt. Rocketeer. Rocketeer from, wait, is it Rocketeur? Rocketeur from Benefit. And you can see this is very loved. I've hit pan on it, and that means Really loved it. I think I'm going to go with Rockateur because I don't want to go too plum. And I'll show you Rockateur next to Plum Foolery. It is like the best of both. It's got a little bit more peachy into it, but it's a little nude. So it's kind of got the best of both. I think I'm going to go with that because then it will kind of blend with everything else. And if we don't think it's enough, then we'll add in a little Plum Foolery just to give it a kick of plum. So I'm just making sure that I don't have anything on this brush. This is a Sonia Kashuk blush brush. Love it. And it works, it fits nicely into these Benefit box blushes. So I'm going to get some on my brush, start here, and then just blend back. Rockateur is a nice blush. A lot of the Benefit blushes are really nice because you can start however you don't have to start and be concerned with plopping a whole bunch of color on that you're going to be blending for an hour. You can put it on and it will blend out and look pretty. First highlighter was MAC Soft and Gentle. MAC Soft and Gentle was like all over YouTube. I think that I'm going to go towards the Mary Luminizer. I use this a ton. I'm starting to see pan on that. So I'm going to grab a Anastasia highlighting brush right here. Dip it into my Mary Luminizer. And this one I think you do have to kind of be careful with because it is really pigmented. And now I remember. So a lot of the highlighters that I'm using now, I mean that is some highlight. This looks very powdery on my skin. And powdery shows texture. Like it makes my nose, the texture, it makes all the pores on my nose show. And I have so many highlighters now that don't do that. So they kind of like meld right into your skin. I mean, it's a pretty highlighter, don't get me wrong, but this is exactly what I needed to know. Why am I not using it? Why haven't I pulled it out in forever? Because I can see texture now all over my nose. So what we're going to try and do is fix that with buffing in some setting powder, all over setting powder, and then I'll do a setting spray on the top of all of that. So now I'm going to go in with a setting powder. This is the normal way that I would get ready. I'm going to use the Absolute powder. I don't know, Absolute Radiant powder. You can see that or not. And this is in, what color is this in? Absolute Pesh. And this is a powder I used to use all the time before I started using Cover FX. It leaves a really pretty luminous glow on the skin. So I'm just going to swirl a big fluffy powder brush into the cap. So I just pour a little bit into the cap, switch around, hit off, knock off an excess, and then I'm just going to start buffing it into my face. Get a little bit more, buff that around. How are we looking? And my eyes always look weird until I get closer to the end because I can warm up any look by putting in like Costa Riche, the warm MAC eyeliner. And my eyelashes being on are going to darken up the look a little bit. Buffing in. This kind of like sets everything, melds everything together, calms down that intense highlight that we had that was so powdery looking, and it just blends all the makeup together, so it looks good. Or at least I think so, I hope. Now we're going to move on to, I'm going to go back to my eyes. Some of this I'm going to cut out just because it's boring to watch someone line their lid or put on mascara. Let's try Urban Decay Perversion. I've had that for a long time. Well, I've had it in my collection. I've tried before, but I don't think I've used it in a while. So I am going to curl my lashes, and if I can get my lash curler out without knocking something over. Okay, curl my lashes. This is what I do. Urban Decay Perversion mascara. See what I think of this guy. And I usually can tell pretty quickly with my lashes if I like a... Oh, I think I know why I stopped using this. Not because it didn't work nicely, but because when I would take it off, it was kind of a mess when I would take it off. And it would get all over the place on my face. Like, it'd be a headache to get off. I think that's why I stopped using it. Well, I finished doing my mascara using the Urban Decay Perversion. I like the mascara, don't get me wrong. What I don't like is I don't like to have to work. I don't have to work at my mascara. When I use the Sephora mascara that I love, the big volume, it gives me volume and length, and it's boom, and it's so quick. This, I had to put several layers of mascara on, which is frustrating me. Even now, I will sit back and I want to see my lashes from where you're going to see me from. If I have to work too hard at something, especially with makeup, when I know that I can use a different product and I don't have to work as hard, I'm not going to use it. And that's probably why I've put that aside. And I remember washing that mascara off, and when I'm getting my face wet at night and washing everything off, there's just black everywhere and it's a nightmare to get off. That's probably why I stopped using it. I'm going in with my Costa Rica. I've gone through many of these before. It's just my inner rim. So I'm going on the inner rim of my eyelid to darken this area, but it's a warm color, so it's gonna warm it up and it's gonna show the end of my lash into my line. So it's gonna make my whites of my eyes pop more. I'm done with my eyeliner. I love this color. It always brings good color to my eyes. I did forget a couple of steps, which I never forget. So I don't know, I guess you guys are making me forget. I am going to highlight my brow bone right up here. And I'm gonna use a flat, nice big flat Sigma brush to do that with. I'm gonna use Virgin from the same palette because I'm trying to stay with one palette. Right here, white. I'm gonna use that right up here. And usually I don't ever use a shimmer on the brow bone, but again, I'm trying to stay with one palette, so we're gonna work with what we have. It's not something you can't do, but it's not something I usually like to do. And I'll look back here and see how it looks. I keep hitting this light, sorry. That's okay. And then I'm going to take that same color and use a inner corner liner brush, and I'm going to line my, just put a little bit on the inner corner of my eye, right here. Just to brighten that inner corner a bit. See? Noticing with the setting powder that I used, it's got small hints of glitter in it. I'm looking at it down here. So it gives a little radiance to the skin. I don't know if I hate it or not, but we'll see. Anyway, moving on, I'm going to do my lip liner, and I think that I'm going to go with, I have two options. I can either do a peachy color or I think I'm going to go with Urban Decay. This is an oldie but a goodie. I bought several of these. This is a Naked, just an orangey color. I'm going to line my lips, and then I'm going to go in with Naked Super Saturated Lip Pencil. It's like a really shiny lip pencil in Naked as well. We're going to set our face with Prep and Prime. I used to use this as a setting spray until I got the Glam Glow, but then I got addicted to the Glam Glow. I also used Urban Decay All Nighter. That was actually, no, I think I might have gotten this first and then I got All Nighter. I don't remember, but either way, I got them pretty much the same time. So I like this lip color. I don't know why I don't use it anymore, but I bought several of them, and I just get new stuff and I forget about the old stuff. I'm going to set this. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I will continue to do Throwback Thursdays. I'll pull in palettes. I've got other highlighters that I haven't used in a long time. Some of them may not be that old, but I may have purchased them, used them for a little bit, and then didn't use them again. So I'm going to work on doing another one of those next weekend. So every week you'll see some type of Throwback Thursday, and I'll do a look that, you know, I haven't done in a long time and see what we think of it. What else can I tell you? I appreciate all the feedback from everyone. It's been wonderful. It's pushing me to continue on. I have 21 subscribers in 1 week, and that's amazing. And as long as I can continue to make that progress, I'm going to be thrilled with my channel. Please like, subscribe, share my videos with anyone. I want more people to join my herd, 21 strong, and we're going to keep marching on. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If there's anything you'd like to comment, you can mark that down below. I will have all the products that I talked about today down below. And until next time, I hope you have a great week.